Good morning, guys. Hope you're doing well. Today, in this vlog, I want to talk about how to handle toxic people / a toxic environment. Obviously, toxic people and toxic environments can be tough. The first thing I would reflect on is to think about how much you control in your situation and setting boundaries. Um, so, for example, limiting your time with them, only seeing them with other people around, or making a change altogether might be helpful. So, for example, in a family toxic situation, can you limit your interactions with that family member or members, or only see them in the presence of other people where they may not act up as much? If it's a toxic significant other relationship, realize you may have to make the change of ending the relationship and blocking them from communicating with you. If it's a professional environment, can you change your job to a different team, a different location within the company, or maybe altogether look for a job at a different company? I think these are all things when you're in a situation where it's a toxic relationship or environment, you have to go to your power and what you can do to kind of limit that person or environment's effect on you. The second thing I would do is have a place to talk about the effects of what's going on. The toxic relationship will affect your psyche, and it's important to let those feelings out so they're not continually burdening you. Obviously I would recommend therapy, but if you can't do that, I'd have a close friend or friends that you can kind of trust and let them know what's going on and kind of get that off your chest. The third thing I would reflect on is, can you honestly communicate your thoughts to the said person? If it's a professional environment, can you talk to the person themselves? Can you talk to your boss that manages them? Can you talk to someone in human resources? If it's a personal situation, again, same thing. Can you talk to the person themselves or bring in a third person to mediate a discussion? I don't like to empathize and a ton with toxic people because I think that they know what they're doing, but maybe sometimes, for example, if you have an older boss who, grew up in a different time period, they may not understand the effect that they're having on you. Again, I don't necessarily always want to give them the benefit of the doubt, but if it can be said to them at least, then they have the knowledge to at least try and change their behavior. Whereas right now, theoretically, and again, I don't like to give the benefit of the doubt, but theoretically they might not know the effect of they're having on you. The fourth thing I would say is learn their patterns. Ultimately you want to limit the effect of them on you as much as possible. And in order to do that, try and learn their patterns and anticipate their behavior. In a professional environment, this might be, anticipating they won't accept responsibility for a mistake and will instead blame you. And so, preparing yourself accordingly to, have the objective evidence to defend yourself, if that's the way you want to go about it, that's the way to do it. In conjunction with number 4, learning not to overly react or value that person's opinion in terms of the way they're going about, their toxic relationship, whether it's insults or some other form of abuse. the reality is, if they do what they do, but you're unaffected, you're good. You know, everything you feel in life comes from you. People will obviously try to affect that, and as normal human beings, that will affect us in some way. But if you build up yourself strong enough, others' hurtful words or actions can affect you less. So one way to do this, say you're in a toxic family dynamic where you're seemingly always having to defend yourself or always getting into arguments, stop letting yourself get into those arguments. If you've had time and time again this discussion or argument and nobody's changed their tone or view on you, why engage in it? Why waste your energy? Just let them say what they want to say, nod your head, and just go about your day. The sixth one is an interesting one. If you know there's someone that they respect, you can maybe ask that person to, send a message, to them via you. Saying something like, listen, I've been seeing the way you have handled your employees or your family recently, and I don't think you're at your best. Have you, I feel like you may want to work on your stress or emotional regulation. Have you thought about therapy or coaching? That coming from someone that they may view as a mentor or someone they respect is different from that coming from you, who, if they're in a toxic relationship with you, obviously don't respect you. And the final point I'll say is, no matter what, never let them, the environment, affect your self-worth or self-esteem. You are an amazing human being. Understand if they're being negative or toxic, it's because they have their own problems in their life and want to just kind of extol that on you. If they were truly good internally and had their things together, they wouldn't be toxic. They wouldn't want to put that energy on anybody else. So, you can't value them, and don't let it get to your head or to your self-esteem. Let me know what you guys think. I hope these 7 pieces of advice help. Feel free to comment down below what your thoughts are. And yeah, stay well, guys. Thank you.